Hi, Rebecca here. I am in Canada, where I live, and just heading out to shovel the snow, and my partner's out there blowing snow, but I'm gonna look after the steps and do some edges and stuff. Anyways, can't wait to get to some warmer weather. Whew, okay, that was cold. I'm really cold now, but I know the driveway's looking a lot better. And there it is over there. Okay, anyway, done. Okay, now that we have that looked after, let's go see my studio.
Hi Fiber friends. I thought I would start with a tour of my own studio, which is Robin's Nest Weaving, and show you some of my favorite tools and some of my favorite tricks that I use. Stay with me.
So I'll just give you a really quick general tour and then I'll show you my favorite things. So that's my roller press. I'm going to show you more later. This is where we wrap our products up to ship out. I'll get over there in a second. This is one of my racks that we dry yarn on, or wraps even. Here's another one. Now, I am not big fans of these. If you guys can tell me in the comments what you use, I would be really happy to know, because these racks are just not great. Anyways, then I keep my yarn over here, and I have products we have in stock here and my desk. I have a loom back here. I have an AVL here, 16 shaft, and another one almost identical right here. Over in this area, we have these, I don't know if you can tell, we have these poles in the way for this loom. So I do all my beaming over here. It's so much nicer. We have a lot more space here to beam, and it works out a lot better for us. These are some warps I have ready to go on the loom. Here's where I wind perms. So over here I have a couple bobbin racks, and then the big bobbin rack in the back. I have a lot of swifts and a lot of skein winders. I have this beautiful, beautiful swift here. I have a smaller swift there. Over here I have a skein winder, and I have another one. Oh, I'll just pan back over. Yeah, I have another one in here, another skein winder. From here you can see my big table that I do all my dye work on, and in the background there you can see my dye studio. So let's go over to the dye studio. Okay, here we are. So down here you can see that that's a 2-cup size bottle. These are now 4-cup size. I just find I need more. I'm doing a lot of dyeing, and the 2-cup size just wasn't enough for me. I've got color charts everywhere, because you can never have enough color charts. I've got 2 double sinks here. Now I just bought these secondhand, so they don't match, but they were significantly less expensive than buying new. And what do I need new in the studio? Like, we're just constantly, it's just an industrial application, so they didn't need to be fancy. Nobody sees them except for if you're in the studio, and if you do a tour, I guess. So then I've got my dyes here. I pretty much exclusively use Dharma dyes, and I love them. I have lots. I have a little microwave down there. I have a washer and dryer dedicated to the studio. I have, of course, my home washer and dryer upstairs, but I also have a stove down here in the studio that's exclusively for dyeing, and I have a couple big pots. I tend to buy those big pots at secondhand stores, because again, they too can be super expensive, and it's something I use constantly. Here's another little tip, a little trick. I keep tubs of, so this tub is full of, well, there's barely any, but it's a soda ash mixture. They're ready to get dyed. I always have a tub of soda ash going. And the other tub beside it is actually, I have a Millsoft bath there for my yarns. I find that the yarn can be a little crunchy after it's been dyed, so I like to Millsoft everything. Okay, so then here's my table. So this table is one I made with plywood. I've used 4x8 sheet of plywood. It's actually 2 of those. At one time I had 3. It took up a good chunk of the studio. And then I just have them on these shelving units, which, you know, I've got junked up, but I have these shelving units underneath to form the table. And then I had another piece of drywall, you can see here, cut in half so that I actually have some shelves on. I'm trying to see if you can see that. Anyways, I have some shelves down there just for extra storage, which of course I always seem to need. Anyways, there's just some things we've got going on out here, but it gives us a lot of working space, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to show you now some of my favorite tools. Obviously, my looms are favorite tools. I'm going to show you over here. So the things I love about this particular loom, I got this loom out of, it actually came from a woman who purchased it from a school. So it was well used, and I was so excited and happy to get this loom. And when I got it here, it worked. It certainly did work, but boy, it needed some TLC. So I added it a lot. I poured money into it basically, but now it's my dream loom. So I have the auto advance. So that's this here. And that makes it so that, you know, as I'm weaving, the warp automatically advances, and I don't have to use a brake. I don't have to crank. It just automatically advances a tiny little bit every time I pull that reed. Another thing I really like about it is I have fly shuttles on it. That's what this is here. I have a fly on both ends. These are double flies, so I can actually, you can see there's like two little garages here, as we call it, and you flip that. It's so easy. You just flip it like this. Okay, I'll show you here. You want to use one shuttle, you want to use another. If you're doing shadow weave, this is ideal. Okay, so there's that. Then you're wondering, what are all these fancy buttons for? Okay, so I put on an E-lift on this loom. So you'll see, I don't even have any treadles anymore. Nope, a loom with no treadles. There's that little, let me see here. I have that right there, which I can use. It's sort of like a sewing machine pedal. And if I push that, it'll work if I have it plugged in. But I tend to prefer, we came up with this method. My partner actually suggested it to AVL, and they implemented it. And so now, I just push the button instead of using the treadle, because I found it was awkward. That's why I have my son's little stool down there. I just love sitting with my feet on the stool. It's so much more comfortable and ergonomic for me. So then I just use this. I'm going to have a demo. I'll show you with me weaving on the loom. And this is actually, now I have a Shuttle Assist. So I was having a lot of pain in my arms because, again, like I said, I'm a production weaver, and I was finding I had a lot of pain. And so I took the pull. I had one like this. I had one that you pull down from the top, and I switched it, and now I throw my shuttle with the touch of a toggle, and it's amazing. It's made a world of difference. My body feels better. I feel better. I sleep better. I actually sleep better because I'm not waking up in pain. Another one of my favorite tools is my Perm Winder. This is an electric Perm Winder. I picked this one up from Leclerc, and you'll see it's got these nice wheels. It's really, really easy to wind perns with this, and it does a great job. I made a little note to use a fan because I am pretty hard on these, and I've burned a couple motors out. So I keep a little fan here that blows on it when I'm using it. So I have this shipping scale, and it's one of my favorite tools for sure. I can have this away. I can measure small amounts of yarn. It's just great. It's been way, way better. I started out using a kitchen scale, and it just didn't do the job. Turn that back off. So this is another one of my favorite tools. It's the Panda Spinner, and this thing is fantastic. I throw my yarn in here when it's wet, and it spins it out. I throw my wraps in there too. I hand wash them in the sinks, and I throw them in there, and you wouldn't believe how much water I can spin out. They're almost dry when they come out. The water, I bought this little, it's for oil changes with your car. It's this little oil tray, I guess is what it's called. and it fits under there perfectly, so the water comes out and I just then dump it over in my sink. And I can't tell you how much time and effort this little spinner saves me. I have this other little tool that I use. It's just a little trolley. It looks like nothing. I bought it on Amazon. I'm going to try and include a link to that below. And this little tool is amazing. It's just, I mean, I'm just moving a lot of yarn around a lot of times, so I can just bring it over here, load it up with yarn, take it over to where we're going to be measuring it. It's just great. Okay, and this baby is probably my very favorite piece of equipment. I'm going to show you. It's my roller press. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to give you a close-up. So this has steam, and it also has different settings up here. So you can, it's kind of like a regular iron. It's got different settings. I have to keep it full of water, and I'm going to show you how nice this is to use. So here's a little trick I learned from Susie Rednicki. She's with the Ontario Handweavers Association. I took a class with her a few years ago now, and this little trick has stayed with me. Oh, let me show you. So I start with a little piece of matching warp thread. I'm going to pretend that I see a knot coming here. There's not a knot, but I'm going to pretend there is. So this little piece that matches wasn't very long, so I tied just anything. It was just something that I had left on a pern onto the end of it. So I'll show you how I do this. Okay, so what I did was I pinned the thread in here. I did a few figure eights around this T-pin, and then I followed where the knot would be. I'm going to pretend the knot's about here. This is about how far I would want to do the repair ahead of time. So I'm pretending there's a knot there. I'm going to go through follow that thread, go through its dent in the reed, go through its proper heddle, and follow it all the way back. And you're going to pull this thread. You don't even really, I can do knot repair, not even leave my loom, my bench. Okay, I'm going to have to set the camera down where you can see. One moment. Okay, so I'm going to show you this as best I can. So you just take your thread, you're following that thread along. You're going to take a little group of threads, just a few, it doesn't need to be a lot. And you're going to go under, and then you've got it like this. You're going to pull it through. Now you've got like a little loop there. I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way. Then you're going to go through that loop one more time. And then you just pull it nice and tight. That's it. Then I throw these down. And that's it. Then I can weave on, weave. Once this gets to maybe here, then I just reach over and I pull it and it's done. Knot repair is done. I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to try and keep my hand more out of the way. I'm not sure. I'm going to go here. I'm going to take a little group of threads, go under it, go through. I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to go through again. And then I'm going to pull that tight. And then I'm just going to tuck this in, and boom. Then, when I'm done. Hi, thanks for watching the video. Please bear with me. I'm learning to video and edit my own videos here, so it's a bit of a rocky start, I know. If you found this interesting and you'd like to see more studio tours, please leave a comment. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, please leave a comment anyway and just let me know what you liked or didn't like. Also, if you could like the video, that would really help me, and subscribe maybe if you haven't subscribed already. I would really appreciate that. It will encourage me and give me motivation to get out there and do more studio tours. Thanks for watching.